Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Chris Massimo back again with some more Apex Legends gameplay. Hope you guys are doing well today, and we have a pretty exciting video if I might say so myself. So for today's gameplay, as you can see, we are using Bloodhound, and of course based upon the title of the video, in these two games that you're going to see today, I am going to be running my favorite legend and of course my main. So for the most part, if you don't already know, Bloodhound did receive a buff this season, and so far I've been loving every minute of it. I feel like Bloodhound always needed one. He's always been really good, and of course, I just felt like there was some way that he can be better, and honestly, I felt like the developers actually did a really good job at doing so. And with the whole update changes, Bloodhound is able to go ahead and get a little bit more time when it comes to getting some knocks. I believe about 15 seconds now, and of course your scans could go at a faster distance and of course longer as well too. So he's just actually very useful, and I always say this in my previous videos where running a Bloodhound is actually very beneficial to the team just because you get that information and that knowledge as to where other teams may be hiding, because in some scenarios you may be rushing a whole different area or at least trying to get some map control, and that crucial scan can go ahead and play a big factor in the game where a team could have been just waiting for you guys. And honestly, I feel like so far this season I've had moments where I'm just trying to hide, and of course maybe I'm the only person left, and the next I get scanned by a Bloodhound, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. It's super annoying, but at the end of the day, that's just basically the point, and of course the main reason why you want to go ahead and use them. So in these cases, from what you're going to see in this video, I was able to go ahead and get some pretty good plays. And in this particular moment within the game, it was actually very difficult because as you can see, we are running ranked, and of course we are on a ranked game, and I feel like it's actually been pretty bad on my part because I just haven't really been able to play Apex as much as I would want to for this season. But nonetheless, we are trying our absolute best to see how far we can possibly get. But utilizing Bloodhound, I was able to see where the last remaining 5 squads were, and with being down to only 2 players left because my buddy King or Blake over here end up going down, unfortunately. What we were able to go ahead and decide, because we were actually just playing with a random, so we had no communication with this guy. So luckily Blake was just giving me some call outs, and I was able to go ahead and rotate behind this team, and which was actually really good because with the ultimate I can see where everyone else was. So we ended up going right behind this ultimate, or at least behind this other team, and then we decided to go ahead and make a big brain play, and of course just wait till they were going ahead and settle, and then next we went for the ambush. So it actually went pretty good in our favor, if I might say so myself. And I did want to go ahead and say something. So obviously I am running the Hemlock and running the Volt as well, and when it comes to playing a Bloodhound, this is probably one of my most favorite gun combinations that I like to go ahead and run as well. Just because with the Hemlock now you can go ahead and fight long range battles and close range battles as well with the new update to the fire rate, and I just feel like it's a lot more easier to control as well too. And then for the Volt, it's the meta. I mean, do I really have to say anything when it comes to the Volt? But I mean, for the most part, like I said, those are my favorite 2 guns that I actually like for this season so far, and honestly I haven't really been able to give a shot to any of the other guns recently. But I mean, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and play with what I think is fun, what I think is good. I'm going to go ahead and continue from there on. So there is something that I want to go ahead and address as well, and it's something that's actually very huge when it comes to the game. So for the implementation of Season 6, I know that the developers actually cut the shields down by 25 hit points. So those 25 points may not seem like a lot, but when it comes to a game as fast-paced as Apex with high damage weapons, those 25 hit points are actually very, very, very crucial to a game, especially in ranked. So finally, the development team actually listened to us, and what's actually really beneficial and actually really great about this is the fact that not only did they listen to us and actually revert the shields back to the normal Season 5 and below, because obviously now we can actually win gunfights, and it just gave really good players the advantage over other players, even if they had good positioning. But not only that, but it shows that the community and of course that the development cares about us. Of course, at the end of the day, they like their own game, they love it, they want to put all the extra time into it, and they want to continue improving the game, especially for the community, which is us. So it just goes to show that if we ask peacefully and we give positive feedback and give our insights, that we are able to go ahead and further communicate something where the development team will either go ahead and consider it or make the necessary changes if they feel like they need to go ahead and do so. And with that being said, I'm having a lot of fun during the season, I'm not going to lie. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play with my friends as much just because with schedules and everything else going on, but for the most part, anytime that I am able to go ahead and play with them, of course I am cherishing the moments as well and enjoying the time. But I know that I've been playing solo queuing lately, And it was actually really crazy because I was actually solo queuing with a lot of random teammates, and it's been just nuts. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, especially with the shields being so low at the time, it was just very difficult for me, I would say. And I actually had a really difficult time, and I struggled to actually try and get some gameplay just because a lot of randoms, I just feel like they do their own thing, and there's a lot of people that are kids, or a lot of other players. I'm just like, why am I getting matched up with these people? And I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to say that I'm like the best player out there, because by all means I'm just an average player. But for the most part, it just gets very, very, very frustrating, just because sometimes there's gunfights that you need to go ahead and rush, and some other ones where you need to back up. And Apex Legends is one of those games where you really need to rely on communication, map rotation, positioning, and of course just knowing when to push a team and knowing when not to. So of course, with those factors included, you have to just understand that it's a very strategic game. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not a run and gun situation. It's just one of those things where most of the players actually are within the older age bracket, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's actually some really good players that are within their teenage years as well too. And like I had mentioned, whatever team and whatever player wants to go ahead and try out this game, and if you want to have fun with it, that is, of course, by all means, go ahead and do so. But if there's anybody that ever plays with me, and especially in these videos, or if you're just a random player that likes to solo queue or anything, just a big suggestion: stick with your team. Obviously, utilize the whole teamwork factor. But when it comes to ranked, if I'm solo queuing on ranked, I'm leaving my team. I apologize in advance. I'm just gonna say it out front, because for the most part, my team will always put me in a really tough situation, and I have lost numerous points where I'm trying to go ahead and communicate something, or a team tries to get overzealous and get some early kill points. And I feel like when it comes to ranked, you have to play very different. And it's not that you have to play very selfish, but you have to go ahead and make sure that you're securing your points very early within the game, and of course playing towards the late game, because that's a lot of what the pro players actually like to do as well. And I feel like when it comes to grinding out ranked solo, and you don't have that communication aspect of the whole game, it can be very difficult. And I'm not trying to be a toxic player. I'm not trying to be in any position to say that you should be leaving your teammates whatsoever. But like I said, you gotta watch out for yourself sometimes. And in some cases, if you're just solo queuing, do what you got to do. And if anything, it's going to make you a better player overall. You're going to be in various situations where you're facing a 1v3 matchup or a 1v2, and you're going to realize, all right, maybe I can go ahead and learn different movements, or learn different aspects of the game and strategies, where now I can be prepared to face and beat a 1v3 situation. But for the most part, that's my strategy. That's my tip for the video. I'm sorry if I got a little bit too in-depth about it, but I do want to go ahead and address this as well. That if you're sleeping on Bloodhound, please don't. I mean, look at this gameplay right over here. The fact that I was able to go ahead and wipe out and, of course, get a few kills, but just being able to see where everyone is at, I mean, it's just so awesome. And I felt like I've been in Beast of the Hunt, or at least my ultimate, for like the longest time when it came to this. I was just like, dang. I was like, I can't believe that I'm still in my ultimate. But then, of course, like I had mentioned, I got myself in a really bad position, and I ended up getting knocked. But luckily, I was actually very fortunate that Ethan over here was able to go ahead and get the revive off of me, because honestly, I was panicking. I was like, oh my gosh, I threw the game. I was like, I'm finally having a really good game on Apex, and I'm about to go ahead and lose it for us. But luckily, like I had mentioned, I was able to go ahead and get revived, and of course just come back into the game. But what's crazy too is just the fact that I feel like I haven't been able to go ahead and get a really good game lately. And not even saying that all of my games are bad, or any of them are good, but what I mean by that is like a high kill game. Lately, I've been able to go ahead and get like 6s and 7s, and of course I've hit 9 maybe about like 3 or 4 times, but for some reason I can't break it, and I can't get into 10, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm a little cautious when it comes to dropping into a battle, and maybe I'm just not fighting every match as possible, or maybe just because I've been dying like crazy. Or it could just be the fact that I just really haven't been able to play as much, to be honest with you. I mean, we're about 3 weeks into the season, and I'm not even over 200 games played yet. I feel like at last season I was probably already almost at like 500 to 1,000 games, but I mean, like I said, we're trying our best, and of course we're trying to make sure that we can get as the best quality gameplay as we possibly can for you guys, because at the the end of the day, this is all for you, and I will continue to be going ahead and produce videos as long as you guys keep watching them. So I want to make sure that I can give and provide exactly what you guys want to see. In the case that we are able to go ahead and change something up or make changes that you guys actually want to go ahead and bring up, then please, by all means, feel free to go ahead and let me know. So with this being said, guys, the video is going to be coming to a wrap very soon. And of course, I want to go ahead and let you guys know that I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you, especially with all the love and the support that you guys continue to give for me. And of course, if you have made it this far within the video, and if you actually enjoyed the video as well, I would actually greatly appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing as well. Liking the video actually helps me get more discovered and get into other recommended feeds as well too. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.